Before we move to break, we are trying to understand how overhead cost can be absorbed on any finished good. So as I told you, we'll solve few numericals, and then we'll try to see how the absorption and allocation can be done. So for that I am having a numerical sheet, and I'll take help of Excel to solve these numericals. Now, is it visible to all of you? Okay, so the first question you can read, the cost incidence of various departments of a factory is given below. You have got various department which is codified as P1, P2, S1, S2, S3. P refers to the production department and S denotes service department. So you can see this is how the codification is done, right? Then you have got some cost like raw material cost, which is given to you department wise. Now they are direct in nature, so you can tell how much raw material cost it is there for P1, how much of the raw material cost is there for P2. Similarly, wages also it is direct in nature, so you can easily calculate. Direct expenses are also since it is direct in nature, so you have figure for all these departments. Then manufacturing overhead, which are direct in nature, again you have got information for that department basis. Now there are some common expenses which are common to all these departments, like for example repair and maintenance of building. There is a cost of 1,60,000, but this is common to all 5 departments. Lighting, the expense of lighting 4,70,000, this is again common to all these 4 departments. Then the expenditure on telephone, which is again common for all the 5 departments, and the total indirect cost is 10,80,000. And then you are also given some characteristics and information of these 5 departments. For example, floor space occupied. You can see P1 occupies 40% of the total space, P2 occupies 40%, S1 occupies 10% of the total space, S2 5, and then S3 5. Meter reading is the unit of electricity in percentage. P1 uses 30%, P2 uses 30%, S1 15, S2 15, and S3 10. Water usage in percentage of P1 is 45, P2 is 45, S1 is 1, S2 is 1, and S3 is 8. Telephone usage in percentage for P1 is 15, P2 is 15, S1 is 50, S2 is 10, and S3 is 10. So you can see here, because P1 and P2 are manufacturing cost, the department, so floor space occupied by them are large as compared to service department. And if I see the usage of telephone, so it is more for the service department, especially S1, as compared to the production department. Now here you are asked to distribute the overhead to the respective distribution. Okay, so you are given some common expenses, you are given some characteristics of these informations, and you are asked to distribute these common expenses to these departments on some equitable basis. Correct? So we will start with the first cost, that is repairs and maintenance of building. Now what should be the basis of distribution of this cost? On what basis repair and maintenance cost can be distributed? Yeah, tell me on what basis the repair and maintenance of building costs could be distributed. Yes, so it should be distributed on the basis of floor space area, right? Then what about lighting? So lighting should be meter reading, right? Then water should be water usage, telephone should be telephone usage, so these are the basis on which these costs should be distributed. Now in order to apportion these common costs, you need to find out in percentage how much P1 is occupying, P2 is occupying, and service department is occupying. Now here you can see P1 occupies 40% of the space, so it should also share 40% of repair and maintenance cost of the building. Are you getting this? Since P1 occupies 40% of total space, so it would also share 40% of the total repair at 60,000 will become how much? 64,000. So 64,000 is repair and maintenance cost for P1. 64,000 is repair and maintenance cost for P1. In the same manner, for P2 also it will be same. S1 will be sharing 10% of the repair and maintenance cost, which will be 16,000. Okay. So similarly, you can calculate this for S2 and S3. Correct? Now in the same manner, meter reading, N percentage, P1 shares 30%. So the lighting cost should also be shared on the same proportion. So 30% of 4,70,000 for P1, 30% of 4,70,000 for P2, 15% of 4,70,000 for S1, 15% of 4,70,000 for S2, and 10% of 4,70,000 for S3. Right? So similarly for water and telephone also you can calculate in the same manner. So I don't think we should find any difficulty in calculating the values here. So we'll move to next question, not 2, but we'll move to question number 3 first, and then we'll come back to question number 2. Now let us see question number 3. The modern company is having 4 departments, A, B and C, which are the production department, and D is the service department. The actual cost for the period are as follows. You have got rent, which is 1,000 rupee, repair cost is 600, depreciation is 450, light is 120, supervision is 1500, fire insurance and respect of stock is 500, employer's liability for ESI is 150, and power is 900. And apart from this, you are having following data with respect to these 4 companies. So you can see area in square feet for all these 4 departments are given. Like for A it is 1500 square feet, for B it is 1100 square feet, for C it is 900, and for D it is 500. Number of workers, it is 20 for A, 15 for B, 10 for C and 5 for D. Total wages also it is given in rupees for all these 4 departments. The value of plant is also given to you for all these 4 departments. Value of stock, it is 15,000 for department A, 9,000 for B, 6,000 for C, and nil. There is no stock lying with department D. And horsepower, HP here denotes a horsepower. So that's a unit of the electricity. So it is 24 for A, 18 for B, 12 for C and 6 for D. And we are asked to apportion the cost to the various department on the most equitable method. So in order to solve this numerical, we will take help of an Excel sheet here. So what I will do is I'll share it, solve. So is this sheet visible to all of you? Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'll just so we'll open the question sheet here so that we can see the values side by side. Yeah, so this is the question here. So we'll take these values one by one, right? So our common expenses here is starting from rent. So first is rent. Then repair, then depreciation, light, supervision, fire insurance for stock, and then power. So these are the common expenses. Then, the basis of distribution, the departments, because we have got departments A, B and C, D. A, B, C, D. We have got 4 departments. Now, rent should be distribution on the basis of what? On what basis we should distribute rent? Area. Now if you will see, the area for department A, it is 1500, for B it is 1100, for C it is 19. We will see the total area, total. So it is 1500, 1100, 900 and 500. Okay. So 1500, 1100, 900 plus 500. So this is the total area, total of the all these 4 departments. Okay. Shall I copy this? I don't know. This is an Adobe PDF format, so I don't know how to copy this problem here on the Excel sheet. Just let me just try if it can be. Try selecting. Okay. So is it, can I, no, actually, it has been copied now. Okay. Yeah, so now I think that should be more clear to you. Okay. So total area here, it's 4000, which is addition of 1500 plus 1100 and 900 and then 500. Right. Now you need to find out in percentage how much A is occupying. Okay. So the percentage will be 1500, which is the area of A, 100. So you can see for A it's 37.5% of the total area. For B it will be 1100 divided by total area into 100. For C it is 900 divided by total area in percentage. So this is in percentage, the area occupying by these 4 departments. For D, A it was 1500, 1100, 900 and then for D it's 500. Okay, so this is in percentage of area occupied by these 4 departments. Now total rent is 1000. So if total rent is 1000, so the proportion of rent should go as, along with the proportion of area occupied by these 4 departments. So if this is the percentage, then you can simply multiply this by 1000 in order to reach the, what has happened? Oh, sorry. So you can remove this and can simply calculate this. Okay, so 375 275 for B, 225 for C, 125 for D, and total cost, this is total cost is 1000, right? So this is how the rent can be distributed or apportioned to 4 departments, right? So the basis was area. Now next, second is repair. So repair total cost is 600, which needs to be apportioned. Okay, so on what basis repair cost can be distributed? Value of plant, okay. So plant value should be the basis of the distribution here, because more is the plant value, more should be the repair which will be required. Okay, so value of plant. Now again you can calculate it in the same manner. The total value of plant is 24,000 plus 18,000 plus 12,000 plus 6,000. So total value of plant is 60,000, and then you need to find out the ratio for each department. So 24,000 divided by this, and then multiplied by the total repair cost. This will be equal to 18,000 divided by total value multiplied by 600, so 180. For department C, it is 12,000 divided by total multiplied by the total cost, which is 120, and for D, it is 6,000 divided by total cost multiplied by the repairing cost. So this is how the repairing cost can be distributed. Should we include wages as well labor cost, whereas repairing cost, it is include wages? See, here you sometimes that, for example, in this case repair, the area can also be one of the basis for this distribution, because the idea is more is the area, more should be the repairing activity. Okay, so you can have a confusion, and you can always debate on the actual the basis on which the distribution should be made, but you need to see which one is the most logical. HP is horsepower, that is a unit of electricity or power. Now depreciation, for depreciation on what basis? So again it should be on the basis of value of plant, because it is the value of plant which is going to be distributed. Okay, so the value of total is 450, so this 450 needs to be distributed. So you can again calculate in the same manner. 24,000 divided by the total cost multiplied by the depreciation cost. For D, 18,000 divided by the cost. For C, 12,000 divided by the total value, sorry, so 12,000 divided by the total value multiplied by the depreciation cost, and for D it is 6,000 divided by the total cost, total value multiplied by depreciation. So this is how depreciation cost can be distributed to all these four departments. Now light, so what should be most logical basis for distribution of cost incurring in the lighting? HP area see, HP is a unit of power, of course, but it's a unit for something which extensively uses electricity, like for example machines, plant. Okay, so for electricity, electricity, you will hardly get bills in horsepower for the electricity, right? So area should be the most logical basis, because the idea is more is the area, more should be the lighting required, because ultimately the light will cover the area. Okay, so if some department is having larger area, you will be required to put more tube lights or bulbs. Fine. So that is why the lighting should be distributed on the basis of area rather than any other information given here, because horsepower is a very large unit of electricity. So normally for electricity those units are not consumed. So area should be most logical or suitable method. Well, sorry. So area wise, department A, it's 1500, it's divided by the total multiplied by the light cost, which is 120. So total light cost is actually 120. Now for B, it is 1100 divided by the total multiplied by the total cost of light. For C, it will be 900 divided by the total area multiplied by the total cost, and for D, it is 500 divided by the total So this is how you can distribute the lighting cost. The next is supervision. So supervision, what should be the most logical method here, value basis here? Yes, for supervision, number of workers. So if number of workers for any department is more, you expect more supervisor to be there. Okay, so total supervision cost is 1500, and since you are distributing this on the basis of number of workers, so total number of worker is 20 plus 15 plus 10 plus 5. It is 20 divided by total number of workers multiplied by total cost. For B, it is the number of workers for B is 15 divided by total number of workers multiplied by the total cost. For C, this will be 10 divided by total number of workers multiplied by total cost, and for D it will be 5 divided by total number of workers multiplied by. This is how the supervision cost can be distributed to all these 4 departments. Now, fire insurance, I think it should be very clear here. It should be on the basis of value of plant, because the insurance is for the stock. Right. So your total fire insurance is for rupees 500, and total value of the stock is equal to 15,000 plus 9,000 plus 6,000. So this is your total value of stock, and then you need to distribute this 15,000 divided by the total value multiplied by the total cost, 9,000 divided by total value multiplied by total cost, 6,000 divided by total value multiplied by the total cost. And since you don't have anything for D, so that will be 0. So D won't share any cost for the fire insurance. The next is employer's liability for ESI. Can it be based on multiple factors? No, you need to find out the best possible option. Okay. Comparative, I mean, if you are choosing multiple factors, so you can do some comparative analysis, but it is better to choose the best possible option. Yeah, so employer's liability for ESI, so it should be on the basis of wages. Okay, but then see again, this basis can be questioned. You may find number of workers sometimes to be more appropriate, sometimes for the wages. Now see, the argument here is employer's liability for ESI is a part of salary, and that may or may not be given for the wages. Okay, so if they are not given for wages, the number of workers should be the most suitable basis. Fine, but of course in this question it is not mentioned whether the organization is providing any employer's liability for the wages or not. So you can even take wages here, and if you are doing this in exam also, so nobody will cancel your answer. But see, anyway you are going to appear in online mode, and it is not going to be in the offline mode, so you won't find that difficulty in selecting the basis. So yes, the wages are the most suitable basis here, but one can always question whether ESI is a part of wages or not. But anyways, we will take wages as a suitable basis for the distribution. So total wages here is 6,000 plus 4,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000, and total cost for ESI is 150. So you can distribute these costs like 6,000 divided by total wages multiplied by total cost, 4,000 divided by total wages multiplied by total cost, 3,000 divided by total wages multiplied by total cost, and then 2,000 This is how this can be distributed. Okay, it's 1500. Not 15. I don't know. So the next power. So power is a big unit, so it should be on the basis of HP of plant. right? So total cost for power is 900, and the total HP is 24 plus 18 plus 12 plus 6. So you can distribute this cost now. 24 divided by so this is how the costs can be distributed, apportioned, and finally it could be absorbed to the final product. Okay. So this question demonstrate how common expenses can be distributed to various departments. Okay, so this is how this is what I was trying to explain in the overhead estimation. Okay, so that should be distributed on some suitable basis. It should be a portion. The cost should be a portion, and finally it should be absorbed to the final product. Is it clear? Any confusion? Okay. Uh, Now let us see question number 2. I am not still clear about fire insurance. Okay, what is that which is not clear? See, fire insurance. Fire insurance. It is in respect of stock. It is clearly mentioned here. So if it is with respect to stock, so we have taken value of stock as a basis for this distribution. Are you getting this? Yeah. Now question number 2. Following data has been extracted from the record of manufacturing company whose operations are varying from month to month. So you have got machine hours. So total number of machine hours. So maximum is 8 lakh and minimum is 3 lakh. Manufacturing overhead occurring for these machine hours, it is 52 lakh when machine hour is 8 lakh. It is 32 lakh when machine hour is 3 lakh. Now you are asked to determine the fixed and variable component of manufacturing overhead and hence to compute the total manufacturing overhead for an activity level of 5 lakh machine hours. So you are given maximum machine hours and minimum machine hours and overhead cost occurring for these machine hours. So and then you are asked to calculate fixed overhead and variable overhead. So by definition, you know that fixed overheads are those overheads cost which doesn't change with the unit of production, whereas variable cost changes with the unit of production. In fact, it changes proportionately to the unit of production. So can you tell me by this information how much is the variable cost per unit? How much is the variable cost per unit here? but yes, you are no, almost on the line. Now see, here minimum machine hour is 3 lakh hours. Okay, and overhead occurring for that minimum level is 32 lakh. Now this minimum machine hours includes fixed cost. I am repeating, this minimum machine hours includes fixed cost and plus some amount of variable cost. That means if you are moving from minimum to maximum hour, it is only variable cost that is changing and not the fixed cost. I am repeating it. The minimum machine hour 3 lakh includes fixed as well as variable cost, and the total is 32 lakh. So this 32 lakh is made up of fixed as well as variable. Now if you are moving from 3 lakh to 8 lakh, it is only variable cost that is changing and not the fixed cost. So if you want to find out how much is the variable cost, it should be simply you need to do 8 lakh minus 3 lakh divided by 52 lakh minus 32 lakh. Are you getting this? So how much manufacturing overhead is changing from 3 lakh hour to 8 lakh hour? How much manufacturing overhead it is changing if you are moving from 3 lakh to 8 lakh hour? 20 lakh, right? So the change in total variable cost is 20 lakh, and change in machine hour is 5 lakh machine hour. So for 5 lakh machine hour, the cost, variable cost is 20 lakh. For one machine hour, how much it is? 5 lakh. 20 lakh is the total variable cost, and per unit it is how much? So per unit it is how much? 4 lakh? So 4 lakh per machine hour. So that is your variable cost. Yes. You are telling me the right answer, whether it is 4 lakh or 25,000. See, for 5 lakh of machine hour, the variable cost, total variable cost is 20 lakh. So how much it is for one machine hour? For 5 lakh it is 20 lakh. For one, how much? 4 lakh. Yeah, so it is actually how much? Rupees 4. It is rupees 4. So 4 is your variable cost. 4 rupees per hour. Okay. Is it clear to all of you, or should I solve this numerical? So you see, you are moving from 3 lakh to 8 lakh, right? And for that, the variable cost is 52 minus 32. So you see here it is a 5 lakh machine hour, Okay, and here the change is 20 lakh in rupees. Okay, so for 5 lakh machine hour, the total variable cost is 20 lakh. For 1 machine hour, it will be 4 rupee. Okay, so if your variable cost is rupees 4, you are asked to calculate how much it is, how much is the fixed cost. So can you calculate how much is the fixed cost then? If your variable cost per unit is rupees 4, how much is the fixed cost? or 20. So you can calculate how much is the total cost for 3 lakh unit. For 3 lakh unit, your variable cost is how much? 3 into 12 or 3 into 4, 12 lakh. So 12 lakh is your variable cost. 32 minus 12, that is 20, it is your fixed cost. Do you want me to solve this numerical? Okay, I'll just solve this numerical on Excel sheet. So this will be more clear there. Okay, I'll make it clear. Just we'll solve this numerical. Yeah. So see, in this question, your maximum machine hour is 8 lakh and minimum is 3 lakh, and your manufacturing overhead, it is 52 lakh for maximum and 32 lakh for minimum, right? So your manufacturing overhead, if you are moving from 3 lakh to 8 lakh, it is 52 lakh minus 32 lakh. So manufacturing overhead machine hour So for 5 lakh of machine hours, your manufacturing overhead is 20 lakh, because if you'll see, your minimum machine hour is 3 lakh, maximum is 8 lakh. So for minimum machine hours, your total overhead cost is 32 lakh. For maximum machine hour, your total cost is 52 lakh. So if you are changing from 3 lakh to 8 lakh, so there is a change of 5 lakh. So for that change, for 5 lakh machine hour, your total manufacturing overhead is 20 lakh. So if for 5 lakh it is 20, how much it is for 1 machine hour? That's what you are required to calculate. So this is here. Let us convert this into. Okay, so variable cost per unit, this is equal to this divided by this. So this is the rupees 4 is your variable cost. Rupees 4 is your variable cost. Okay, now if this is your variable cost, you are asked to find out the fixed cost. So for 3 lakh machine hours, your total cost is 32 lakh. Your variable cost, because you have calculated already, it is 4 rupees per unit. So if it is 4 rupees for 1 machine hour, how much is the variable cost for 3 lakh? So this will be your variable cost. Now how can you calculate fixed cost? This will be simply this minus this. Is it clear now? Then you are asked to calculate the cost for 5 lakh machine hours. So for 5 lakh, the variable cost will be equal to 4 multiplied by 5 lakh. Your fixed cost will be same. So your total cost will be equal to this plus this, which is 40. Sorry. So this is your total cost for 5 lakh machine hours. Is it clear? Right. Now we'll move to last question. So this last question, it is on the basis of cost sheet. I have shown you one cost sheet. So here you are given some information: direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, factory overheads, office and administration overheads, and selling and distribution overhead. So and you are asked to calculate the total cost using cost sheet. So normally those who are appearing in offline mode, such kind of questions comes along with the preparation of cost. But just to show you how this kind of numericals and practically can be solved. So here it is simply addition of all these costs. If you add direct material, direct labor, direct expense, it will give you prime cost, which will be addition of these three. If you add factory overhead to that, that will be factory cost. If you add office and administration, that will be cost of production. And then if you add selling and distribution, that will be your total cost or cost of sales. So otherwise you just simply add all these costs and that will be your total cost. Okay. So I think all numericals for today's class, it is finished now, and I think these numericals made the apportion and distribution kind of clear to you. My slides, cost sheet, and all these the exercise sheet which I am using, it is available at my website. It's actually www.insight.in. It's myinsight.in. So if you visit this website, you have to click classes and support, page classes and support, and under classes and support you will be able to find management accounting as one of the subject, and you can download slides as well as these exercise sheets from there. So the presentations are saved in the PDF format, and even cost sheet also it is there, and these exercise sheets are also uploaded there. So you can visit this site and you can download. If you find any problem, you can always write mail to me. My email ID is manasmayur@intcdl.ac.in. So I'll be available on this website. If you have any query, any confusion, any problem, any question, you can write to me on this email ID.